Okay. Hello, this is Happy Jig here for a surprise video. Today we'll be looking at what you see before us. Our impacts. And something that does not look like an impact, but it technically is.
Kind of. No,
Kinda.
no, it isn't.
Well, it comes from an impact. So anyways, here's our entire, well, actually not our entire collection of them. Well, of course, this is only one category of the many types of sprinklers we collect. We have a few oddities that we feel like we should be addressing. So, first off, we have Aqualine thing, or Aqualine, however you pronounce it.
It's kind of in between the champion's half-inch sprinkler and, well, the champion. Ugh, I fail miserably at talking. It's in between the normal champion half-inch sprinkler and the champion 3/4 inch sprinkler, or the U260 DP to be more specific.
Which is right there. Now this is weird. It's kind of like a 25, it's heavier, and it requires as much, maybe even more pressure than a 35. As much as that champion over there. And it goes really far. Don't underestimate it, even though if it's only half-inch. So yeah, there's that. Also, this thing is kind of corroding. Not good design. The diffuser screw is part of the nozzle. And this part here is sand cast. Instead of just metal. Or bent metal. Okay, so next. This 25, or yeah, 25. We have a lot of these sitting around our neighborhood with the solid trip pin, which tends to break off. This is one of the few I've seen that still has that pin there. And, well, what much is there to say? It's not a PJ. Has the diffuser screw as part of the nozzle. No, whatever that metal thing is, that flat piece. It works just fine. We've tested it. Yeah. I remember one of these three, either this one, or this one, doesn't turn correctly because
I think it's the one with the solid trip
I guess
pin.
it has bad bearings. Okay, so here's the other non-PJ one that I guess is the next one.
It has very slight differences.
Like the arm is slightly different.
The
so
body is slightly the body is different, as you can see.
who knows? Maybe this one is older. Well, it has this wire one, or wire here. Doing this with one hand is kind of hard.
And it has different strip collars.
As usual, the
It also has
diffuser
the-
screw is part of the nozzle.
And it also
And
has
this
the
thing is
glory top
attached.
deflector.
That's what it's called? Okay, sorry about that. We got interrupted quite rudely. So yeah, it has the spoon arm, diffuser screw on the nozzle. This is still, I guess, sand cast. And so is this lower part, but this is wire, which is less likely to break. And parts circle only? Yeah, I guess so.
The trip collars are different too.
They're
And
pretty
it has
much
a
different on all of these. They have different types, except for those bottom two that are in shot. Those are the same.
and the body on it is slightly different. That one is more round than the one we just showed you.
And then here is our semi-functional one with the tube arm. This we got from across the street from our neighbor. It was on the front of the house. It got kind of knocked down by a backhoe, and they gave it to us. This bottom part does not swivel at all. It's completely stuck. I think you can adjust the stops. I'm not sure. I don't know. But yeah, the top portion works just fine. It has no trip pin. Because, as you heard me say earlier in the video, if you can see there. Come on, focus on where it is. There. See, right there, kind of in the middle. That's where the pin broke off, so it won't trip either. So you have to push on this to actually change it. But the rest of the assembly works. And The arm actually works pretty well. It just can't move left or right. Now, we have mostly the same thing. Camera. Except, it's slightly newer and it works just fine. See, this moves left and right. It has a pin. It's actually a wire one.
And it performs beautifully.
This is probably one of our best working ones, in my opinion, at least. See? Diffuser screws. Actually, this one has no diffuser screw. But yeah. It's probably one of my favorites. Not much else to say. Really. Then, we have something that no one really brings up very often. These newer 25s. Ironically, we do not have the newest model of 25. This is the closest thing we have. Well, besides that orbit impact, which I'll show you later in the video. See, this one has a completely black arm. And I think it might actually be iron because that one is actually the same one and it's rusting. Yeah. Diffuser screw is not part of the nozzle on this one. It actually comes off of the body right there, as you can see. Has all kind of bent sheet metal trip pin. And it works very well. Although it doesn't have a perfect arm, so it kind of sprays more than usual. Just like, well, less than the more modern one, I think. Well, we don't have the most modern one, so I'm not sure. But yeah, it says B right there for some reason. And on the other side, if I can move the trip pin assembly, it's so hard to do this with one hand. There's an H and a 48 right there. So yeah, we don't know why that's there. Oh, well, I guess you get a look at the bottom. So yeah, we found this down in the canyon. It's in really good condition, in my opinion. And now, here's the equivalent, which is not doing so well. So this is another one of those black arms, but you can't really tell. We found this one stuck in the dirt at one of our other houses. Well, down the road, but yeah. People said it would be fine if we could take it because they didn't need it anymore. Duh, it was stuck in the dirt. It has no nozzle or no diffuser screw, but those are parts, so hopefully we can order them. See, it's pretty much like the other one, except, hold on. Well, there's the trip assembly, if you really wanted to see it super up close, which I bet you don't. Okay, yet another root interruption. This one is quite a bit dirtier. Really, there's literally dirt inside of it. As with the other one, there is the Rainbird logo right there. And as with the 35, assembled in Mexico right there. But the weird thing about this one is these, the stops, you use a screw to loosen them. I guess it's more vandal resistant that way. We did find this next to the road. And now, on to the larger impacts. Well, for this part of the video. This does not look like an impact to you, but it does to us. No, it doesn't. Well, it looks like a circle with Rainbird on it.
It's a plastic disc.
Or is it? It's actually the lid of...
Focus!
A Rainbird 51DS, which is a pop-up impact with, I guess, valve built in, and I think that's a serial number. Or a date code. Focus. Whatever it is. It's old enough that they say Glendora right on the lid. Well, maybe they still do. I don't know. There. There's that code, whatever it is.
What does
we found this lid, and we hope...
code says.
The camera already said, or saw. And yeah, we know where these came from, and there are tons of 40s, 45s, and other things like that there. We hope to get some of them.
41s, 31s, stuff like that.
Probably all valve and head. Now on to our next contender, which is really heavy. the Champion,
U260DP.
as you can see on the weight. This is actually still made by Aqualine,
And
or
Orbit.
Aqualine, and surprisingly Orbit. They sell it on a wire base. This one has pretty different stops. This one you can actually set it part or full circle, just like, well, actually no, none of these do that here, but I'll show you that Orbit 25 knockoff later. See, there's the Champion logo. This is actually older than it looks. It's from about the 70s. Well,
Or
presuming,
80s.
because we got it from, or at the same time from the same property as this 35, which we'll show you later, on the same system. Now, spreader nozzle, large nozzle, well, I don't really have very much to say other than it's an oddity. It has a tube arm.
What about this?
What?
Come on, trip mechanism. Be positioned correctly. There. It's mighty. Very hefty, very strong, and a very good performer.
And it has this very unique sound that sounds less like a clicking of a normal impact or whatever you'd describe it as, and more of a kind of chopping, I guess. Sounds very unique. I'll show you later. There's
You
the
will.
diffuser screw, and what is that metal piece called?
Deflector.
Yeah. And now, on to 30.
35.
Well, it's not a PJ. I forgot one part. This one has absolutely no distance control whatsoever. Let me. So hard with one hand. I need to repeat. Position
And
it.
it can't even work.
Covered in dirt. Haven't we tested it? We found out. Yeah, the arm works just like that other 25. And yeah, no way of adjusting the distance at all, which is unusual. Probably something that was in the orchards or was supposed to be in the orchards, but accidentally got into a neighborhood. Found, I think, no, on the property
Show it.
next to this one, for that 25. The trip pin is stuck up right there for some reason, stopping this mechanism from working correctly.
And the bearings. They are.
Right there.
And they refuse to move.
Oh yeah. This can't turn either. But, real quick, I'll actually show you something really interesting in a jump cut. Okay, so originally, while unscrewing it from its riser, this happened. We found out that this could come off of this and do this. Pretty unusual, and the newer 35 can't do this. Oh well. I guess we'll just put it over here. Still unassembled. And now, here's the brand new, actually made in 2015, 35 PJ. As you can see, oh, we have a adapter on there so we can put it on a spike. This is a really, really, really good sprinkler. This one, it actually has a diffuser screw on the nozzle. A PJ tube arm, which is standard on this now, and part and full circle. And it's actually not as heavy as the Champion, but heavier than the other 35. So yeah, this is probably one of my favorite sprinklers in my collection. Although, it loves to fall over and damage things. Tried falling on my keyboard once. Thankfully, hasn't tried going for my foot. And there's that Raybird logo we saw on the 225s earlier. If you'll focus, there. Yeah. And it has a spring right there, which... Does the Champion also have that?
Yeah.
So basically, they're direct competitors.
They are direct competitors.
I know, I just said that. So yeah, this is kind of corroding after only a few months, but that's okay since it's not, broken. This is a really good sprinkler, or impact, but it requires a lot of flow, and it goes really, really far. Probably
And-
not for your residential stuff.
I take awkward pauses in my
sentences.
Now, on to, well, I guess... No, that's not what I meant. Stop. Prices. This was over $60. Yeah. For this one sprinkler. These two, this one and this one, sell for about
$18.
$16 at Lowe's. Well, the new modern PJ, 25 PJ. And as my idiotic friend just tried doing, here's our under I-25.
I'm
Hey!
not an idiot.
Well, yes, you are for doing that now.
Hey!
This is our I-25 stainless steel.
Ooh, I-25. That says so.
actually
I can't
built-
speak.
We actually built a special stand to run this 1-inch rotor off of 2 garden hoses, and it works well. Well, what else is there to say besides it's a really impressive rotor?
Ooh, so big.
We had a Rainbird rotor, what was it?
Falcon 6504 PCSS.
That Mr. Idiot
Hey,
Who-
I'm not Mr. Idiot.
Well, yes,
Call
you are.
Rainbird idiots.
well, he tried to unscrew the cap and he stripped the entire thing before he even got a chance to run it. Then we had to return it and buy this. So yeah, that happened. But, oh well, this is so good.
The Falcon is the same price as the I-25, yet it does not offer non-strippable gear drive. It is a scam. I will never buy Rainbird 1-inch rotors, ever! I'm always sticking to Hunter or K-Rain or whatever because
You're a
Rainbird 1-inch
Hunter
rotors
fat
suck.
boy.
Hey!
Also, this has the newer 2015 cap and wiper seal. And all the other improvements. Plus the...
So, instead of having a rubber collar here, the wiper seal here seats at this plastic part on the cap so absolutely no dirt can get in.
So yeah.
Buy the I-25.
Buy the
it now.
I-25.
Buy
Buy
it
the
now.
I-25. Buy it now. Okay, it is tomorrow morning, or the morning after we filmed all the rest of the stuff. And this is what I was talking about. That Rainbird Orbit 25 PJ kind of knockoff. See? It's pretty much just a clone. This is the closest we have to the real thing. Oh, and Okay. Okay, fine, I'll mention you. Exactly what I was going to. This is our Scarecrow. We've had it for about 7 years now, and it still works. Well, we actually have 2 more, and they died.
Well, we actually have 1 more. Or 2 more.
Yeah, we do have 2 more.
Okay.
And this is the only working one out of 3. So yeah, a few differences I've noticed is the shape of the back weight. That this thing on top is flattened instead of just kind of sticking out. And obviously these clips. Otherwise, well, and the texture here and slight shape differences between some of the parts. Otherwise, it's pretty much identical. Now,
Melnor also makes them.
yeah, it's basically just like the zinc impact, which we'll show you next. Just a generic brass impact, probably from another country.
But they do work really well.
Yeah, haven't we seen these on Alibaba?
Uh-huh.
If you don't know, that's basically a site where large companies can buy literally tens of thousands of products from other countries for really cheap. Most of the products, like some of these Scarecrow knockoffs, not the actual Scarecrow, and definitely a lot of these Orbit, Zinc, or Orbit, Melnor, and other Nelson, actually, maybe. Wait, no, not Nelson, but you get the idea. They come from other countries. They're not actually made by those companies. And
also the sprinklers that
You're
come
getting ripped
on
off.
these scarecrows at these... What?
yeah, the crappy plastic sprinkler that comes on the Scarecrow also comes from those places. But since it's... I saw it labeled once as a comedy sprinkler because it goes so fast. And, well, this is frankly all it's good for. Now, guess I'll show you the Impact and Scarecrow working together. Wave! So yeah, there's that. And well, let me turn it off. We had this to scare raccoons away from the edges of our pool. So, quick, to the next sprinkler! Wait, no. Okay, and here's that generic Orbit Zinc Impact I've been mentioning. So yeah, I actually really like the design. It has a fair bit of overspray, but it's slightly higher quality than you think. Of course, since we live in an area with very harsh water, it's caked in calcium. Well, not as much as you would from an old sprinkler, like these older plastic impacts. Rainbirds, see? They actually, instead of having the green circle in the adjustment thing, they have a black one. That's how you tell the difference, I guess. Yeah, what else is there to say more? Well, they're probably made by the same people because, well, I believe these are the same. I think the trip pin is very, very similar, and so is the diffuser screw. Yeah, Orbit, Melnor, whatever, zinc impact, generic zinc impact. Okay, so here's the bottom of the canyon with the mini paw, the new, pretty much your standard mini paw for now, the maxi paw, and the Orbit satellite. So, that white ring on the top, by the way, appears and disappears kind of sporadically. It's just a bunch of calcium that sometimes gets washed off. So why not go down the slide and then explain to you why it's here. There. So this mini paw, it's here because of these vines. There used to be one of those other Rainbird plastic impacts. I think it was called a P2R or a Blackbird or something. P5. No, that's the newer one. It was a P2R. Yeah, I was right.
If it had a single weighted arm.
It did have a single weighted arm.
Then it was a P2R.
Yeah, I was right. Oh well, enough bickering. See, this is just a normal mini paw. See? Holds down its lid so much more, or it holds its lid down with a lot more force than a maxi paw somehow. These vines tried crawling all over the sprinkler and trapped it so it couldn't move, so we ended up putting the mini paw here. So yeah, now it's impervious to them and it waters just fine. Now, over there's a riser that Mr. McIdiot contractor plugged up with a stick. He seems to have a thing with plugging holes with sticks. Seriously, there's a drip tube in the front that's just plugged with a stick too. And here's our maxi paw that we actually dug out of the ground. You probably recognize these two from a removed video. Well, we removed it from YouTube for reasons. But yeah, here it is. The maxi paw we dug out of the ground at one of our other houses. Works pretty well. Pretty much like new, only kind of dirty. Using the 1/2-inch bottom inlet. These all used to be Rainbird P2Rs. And now, this over here, and a bunch of random bird feathers for no reason. This is our Orbit satellite. You should probably know what this is. It's a brass pop-up impact. I would pull it up and show you because the lid normally gets caught here because it's not level, but it didn't this time. So he's saying it's relatively similar to the Rainbird 15111A, except it has a different arm so it can fit in a smaller casing. As you can see here, this may look ginormous, but in reality, it's small compared to a lot of the other brass impacts, or the 15111A from the 80s, or I don't know when. And of course, knockoff double-threaded inlet, just like the maxi paw. We're using the 1/2-inch one, of course. So yeah, that's our Orbit satellite. But there's still one more thing. Okay, here I decided to show you the easiest to reach one. This is one of our Rainbird P2Rs with a single weighted arm and a black top here instead of a green one. It has this older, wider pin just like our maxi paw does, so its arc can't be adjusted quite as low. And here we have two Orbit 90-degree elbows to help level it out. You should do this if you have ones that are tilting in weird angles so they're straight up and down.
It helps increase the radius of spray because it was pointing downwards and plants and things were blocking it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just the P2R, your normal P2R. Basically just a slightly older mini paw out of the ground because, well, single-weighted arm. So yeah, I guess that means the video is, wait,
Not
no,
over.
not over. Because we still have an ending thing that we already filmed.
And also a Hayward filter.
Oh yeah, Hayward filter. Here comes the ending part. Oh, and before I end the video, if you would like to see any of these sprinklers in action, just ask in the comments. We'd be glad to. So, this has been a Happy Jake production and...
SST 1200O.
Oh yeah,